Hello, everyone. Angie here, Natalie here. Um, oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. Episode 13. We're here for episode 13. Can you believe it's episode 13? Like, wow,
It is, yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
It's fun keeping track, you
It
know?
is, it is fun.
Yeah.
So, welcome to our gratitude month. We're still in our gratitude month, and we're on episode 3, really, of our series of gratitude. And today, episode 13, we're talking about finding gratitude in challenging situations. And by that, I do mean family, right? This is one of our toughest challenges, our challenging situations. And, Natalie was talking about family gatherings is often a very stressful time. And Thanksgiving is one of these family gatherings, right? And it can be really tough to find gratitude, I think, in these sort of challenging situations, especially if we feel affronted or challenged or, unsafe in our family environments, our family dynamics, right? Whatever they might be. So, anyway, I'm really excited to dive into this topic. If you're new here, there's 2 other episodes you can listen to on gratitude. But welcome. I'm Angie, and this is my business, Journey to Soul, my channel. And I'm an intuitive spiritual mentor, and I just love having conscious conversations. I love um, awakening myself. I love awakening myself so that I can share with people that experience and share with them why it's worth it, why the effort, because the effort, it does take effort. Like, I absolutely acknowledge that, but it's worth the effort, what's on the other side of it. And I love to model that for people. I love to mirror for people what's available to each and every single one of you. And part of that is keeping it real and having these conversations, especially as a parent. I'm a mom of 2, a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old daughter, and I'm married for, oh my goodness, 11 years now. And yeah, oh, it's 12 years. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 12 years. Um, Anyway, just had a moment there. And I'm in the middle of moving from my first house. You can see boxes back here. So there's a lot going on. But anyway, I just love doing this. And I'll let Natalie introduce herself and tell you how much she loves it too.
Yeah. Hi guys. Yeah, I am an intuitive writer. I've got one book coming up sometime, well, I guess not this year because we're already in October. How did that happen, right?
Right.
But next year, it's called 21 Days to the New Earth, and it is exactly that. I break it down into really one simple step every day. And at the end of the 21 days, the intention of the book is to bring that new earth, that you're bringing that new earth out from within you. It's a really fun book. It's a really easy read. I kept it really simple. Those of you who follow Angie, Julie, and I know that I love keeping it simple. There's no reason to complicate crap. Yeah, and I absolutely love these conversations. And Angie's right. It really does awaken knowledge within us. It makes us look at things a little bit differently. And I mean, it's just a great way to have these conversations, right? To share these conversations with you. This is how we bring awareness. This is how we bring light into our world. And I love gratitude has changed my life in amazing, indescribable ways. So this is why we decided to do our gratitude month. So we're so happy that you're all here to join us for the 3rd episode on gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's dive in. Challenging situations. Let's start with family. That's often tough. Like, I'm curious, what's your experience of family gatherings?
So a lot of like the same, like you can tell, right? So our family, so both of our families are like within driving distance. So holidays are always busy where it's family gatherings. My extended family's here, so not so much Thanksgiving's busy, but like Christmas, like December, forget about it, man. I got something every week, sometimes 2 things a week, because it's my birth family, my adopted family, my husband's family, my extended family, and then we usually have so my in-laws are part of a like a charity board, so they always have like a kids Christmas party every year.
Mhm.
So it's just a lot of like go 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 go,
Yeah.
and it can be tough. Like it can be like exhausting, right? And when you're exhausted, it's really hard to kind of get those good vibes flowing again,
And to
right? Like
feel grateful,
gratitude.
yeah, to
Like
feel grateful for this
why the
opportunity.
hell should I feel grateful? Like I got all these, meals to cook, and then I got to do the dishes, and I got to do shopping, and then I got to remember this and that. Like, how do you find gratitude in the middle of all that, right?
Yeah, it's so true. It's similar to us. We had that experience too. Before it wasn't a problem because I didn't really connect with my family and we didn't do very much, right? So it was just Kyle's family. But even just in Kyle's family, we had everything. We had his family thing, and they have two traditions, right? They do Boxing Day and Christmas Eve. And don't get me wrong, I actually love their traditions.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve is like pajamas, and we, watch A Christmas Carol, like the original one, and we have hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and it's fabulous. But it's still another thing. Oh, and then he has a family thing from his babysitter when they grew up, and they she has something on the 23rd. So on the 23rd, 24th, 25th would be our own Christmas, right? Like with his family directly. The 26th would be the huge extended family thing. And like, man, it was a lot. It was just a lot. And then sometimes I would try to fit in there to see my brothers. And
Yeah.
it's so much. And when you have kids too, that was just like when I met him, when I first started with the family. And then you have kids, and now you're bringing kids to these things, and you're dragging them around, and they just want to have fun at Christmas. Like
Yeah.
that's
It's
my experience.
exciting for them.
Yeah, but they're being dragged constantly here, there. Mom and dad are stressed, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of hustle and bustle, and so it is hard. That's challenging. Like that is a challenging situation, right? I think
Yeah.
first
Just
let's
that.
call it what it is. It's a
Yeah.
challenging situation. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you don't love your family. It doesn't mean that you know what I mean, you're ungrateful. It's
Correct. Yeah.
challenging.
Absolutely.
It does. It challenges you. It's exhausting. Sometimes you just want to lay in your bed or be in your home, but you have to go run out, and
Yeah.
then you have to go run out and maybe do some last minute shopping. That's
Right.
stressful.
Yeah.
So it's challenging. But how do you find
Hmm.
gratitude? So, how do you find, I'll ask you, Natalie, like, how do you find gratitude in those family, in like Christmas, during Christmas?
Right. Yeah. So I have, and I've had for a while, a morning and evening routine. It it's very simple. It's like three or four things that I do. Like some of them take like 1 minute to do. Like it really doesn't take long, but I stick with it every day, and it's like a security blanket. Um, but like I guess in a more positive way than a security blanket.
Right.
Um, and it keeps me centered. It keeps me present, not necessarily for the whole day, but while I'm doing those things, while I'm doing my morning routine, while I'm doing my evening routine. Even during the holidays, I do this. Even on vacation, we went out, my husband and I had a long weekend. I stuck to this like glue. Doesn't matter what day it is, doesn't matter if I stayed late, if I stayed out late or if I went to bed late the night before. Whenever I wake up, I do my morning routine. And it really, like that stability, that routine, if it's something just for you, it really takes a big edge off. And when
Mhm,
you take that big edge off, because then you're doing it, it's comfortable, you're
mhm,
relaxed, and it decreases your anxiety. So it gets like those good feeling emotions going. And then, so when you're not drowning in the stress and the anxiety, when you're taking some time for yourself, even if it's 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, it really does help. Again, you go into those better feeling emotions, and then gratitude's easier to reach in those moments,
yeah.
right? maybe you're not feeling gratitude, in the middle of this shit show of there's wrapping paper everywhere and you probably have like a candy cane stuck in your braid or something. But you can find gratitude in those other moments where you're creating peace for yourself, right?
Yes. It's so important, guys. Listen to that. Listen to what Natalie's saying. In order to find gratitude in the challenging situations, you need to decide to take that moment. You need to decide, like it's a decision. I call it a non-negotiable, what you're describing. And it's like but you have to make it non-negotiable. You know what I mean? You can't expect other people to give you that space. They won't give it to
Correct.
you. They won't give it to you. You're the creator. You create it, and
Mm.
so you can come up and know that the mind, and there's no shame in it. The mind will come up with every reason why you can't have that 10 minutes. Especially moms. I'm talking to you, moms. Your mind will come up with a million reasons why you can't have 10 minutes. But I'm
Mm.
gonna call bullshit. You can have the 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but you have to decide that. But that's how you find gratitude. You're absolutely, like, I love that you said this, because like, I love that you went there. You didn't just answer the question of how do you find gratitude. You went into, I keep these times, and it's in those
Yeah.
moments that you're able to find gratitude,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
And I
that's an
think that's
important
really
first step
important.
because, again, this is about creating space, guys. You
Yes.
can't, I mean, yes, your life can change on a dime. Like, technically, we could all click our fingers and be like, you know, happy as F and stuff. But we have this thing called the mind that gets in the way. So we have to take these actions, create
Yeah.
these non negotiables, like Angie was saying, um, so that, again, so that we create space. So we get all like it's like cleaning out your closet, right? You want to
Mm,
buy, you want to buy yourself like 10 new outfits. Well, you better clear out 10 old outfits, right? Same thing with this. We want to create more gratitude. We want to just create more like good feelings in our day. We have to create that space, right?
yeah. Yeah, and that's
Hmm.
so important. And we talked about this in the previous episodes about, in order to, when you're in a challenging time, it's hard when you're challenged and you're triggered, which often happens when you're with family members, right?
Yeah.
They trigger a lot of our shit, like they do, because these are unhealed aspects within us. But when you're triggered, you lose access to the resources that you know. And so, how many
Yeah.
times do people beat themselves up, or I've beat myself up, like, I should have known, like, I should have done this. Why didn't I do that? And I'll tell you now, you couldn't do it. That's why you didn't do it, because you couldn't. There's nothing wrong with you. It's perfectly normal. When you're in a triggered state, you lose access to the resources that you have. And it isn't until you take that time and you put yourself, shift your emotional state, right? Out of that fight, flight, freeze response, that's when you're
Yeah.
able to access more. You can access more resources, you can reach for gratitude, right? And so it's really important to have this non-negotiable time for yourself,
Mm.
even if it's 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. Having 5 minutes a day and having 3 minutes of gratitude within that vibration is enough to shift all the shitty things that happened in that day. Now, I'm not any scientist, can't tell you any percentages, but I'll tell you it is. I That's something I can say with 100% certainty, and you'll just have to believe it by experiencing it yourself, you know? That
Yeah. That's the
gratitude
biggest thing is
can
you
shift.
got to experience it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Angie? Like how do you find gratitude in challenging times?
Yeah, honestly, for me, I spoke about this in the other episode. I have a gratitude practice in my membership, right? And I do this in circle with other women. And once a week, we get together and we share our gratitudes with each other. And when we share and then we tap, we use tapping to anchor in the energy of gratitude and all speak each other's gratitude. Now, that practice alone, I've been doing this now for over a year. No, it'll be a year, coming up on a year. And that practice alone weekly has allowed me, like in the last few months, more of my gratitudes are coming because things have felt tough the last few months. And more of the gratitudes that I'm speaking and the other women in my circle are speaking are actually gratitudes of challenge, gratitudes of lessons, gratitudes of, an argument that I might have had with somebody, because that argument awakened a knowing in me that I wasn't aware of before. It was I had a blinder on. And so how do I find, yeah, I believe like I have found gratitude in challenging times because I had a gratitude practice. I absolutely 100% credit it to that. And that's just what's happened for me. What's the benefit of it? What's occurred is that now my gratitudes aren't just for the good times, they're for the tough times too. And there's something really powerful when you can bring the vibration of gratitude to the dense challenges that you have. Because if you can claim gratitude in those moments, it transmutes it. Again, like I said, 3 minutes of gratitude a day is enough to transmute a day of negative energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you
Those
can really
higher
sit in it.
feelings.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, if you can really sit in it, it's because of a practice I can do that. I want you to understand, if you just start practicing gratitude tomorrow and you try to have gratitude for a challenging situation, it might not touch your heart. You might not feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been a year of practice. And one of the women in Circle just this past month said she just had a really profound experience happen that was really challenging, really tough. And she had so much gratitude for it. She said, I don't know that I've ever felt gratitude until now, like really felt it. And you know what I mean? It's like we've been practicing it, but she's like, I thought I was feeling it, but now I feel it even deeper. And this is what happens as you start to find gratitude for even the challenges. It goes deeper. It opens the heart deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're never ending,
Yeah.
right? We, as ourselves, as beings, we're never ending. So our love is never ending. Our compassion is never ending. Our gratitude is never ending. Yeah. And that's such a great way that you shared to that how you find gratitude is, and it's totally real. It's a practice. Practice 3 minutes a day. And it doesn't have to be complicated. We talked about this in the last episode, so make sure to watch it. The tools to gratitude.
Mhm.
It doesn't need to be this super complicated thing where you have to go to like a retreat every month. No, man, just do it in your bathroom while you're peeing. Like you can do it anywhere. It does not matter. Okay. Anyone trying to sell you something super fancy, it's just a gimmick. Don't do it. Or you can do it if you want.
People do
Hashtag
that
free will.
because they like it. They like ritual. They
Yeah.
like it. And that's fine. If you like
That's
it,
fine.
do it. But you don't have to do it that way.
It's not necessary. And I have recently found gratitude in really challenging situations as well. Very similar to what Angie experienced. So I'm sure mine was through gratitude as well. It was also through conscious awakening, where I have been shifting paradigms and frequencies like a lot
Has she
lately.
ever?
And right, a wild roller coaster ride. But it has brought me to a different point of view, where now I can see, the children that are in my family, and really look at them with new eyes and be like, that contrast that they bring helps my expansion, right? That, like when they start having an argument or they start bickering or they just start like making loud noise, like I'll flinch or something, or like kind of like move back. And then I catch myself and then I go inside and I'm like, okay, like this is not about the external situation. It's about what's going on inside me. Like, why do I have this reaction, right? Maybe they're arguing And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm an argumentative person, but there's something inside of me that just isn't like that, right? So that's what you actually have to figure out, like just literally move into your heart. Um, but that whole practice, that conscious awakening practice that I've been very diligent on, just like you've been very diligent on your gratitude practice, Angie, um, that has given me new perspective and a different point of view. So when when extremely challenging situations pop up, like something that came up this past weekend, even if you can't feel gratitude for it right then, you know that it's for a higher purpose, right? You know that you place this on your path for a reason. And I find it's a lot of it is it's just your point of view, right? You could have the same situation. We're living in the same house that we have, for like 10 or 20 years with the same people. And but now because of our different point of view, because of our different level, our paradigm shift, or what frequency we're at, we can see it differently because it really
Yeah.
is changing the lens of your world.
Yes. And
So when we're
allowing.
very, yeah, so when we're very diligent, when we're very determined, I'm a very determined person. Um, so when we're very determined and vigilant and we stay on top of whatever works for us, right? Like whatever your instinct says to focus on, maybe that's your gratitude practice right now, right? Again, this is a great time to practice gratitude, but be on top of it. Be so on top of yourself that it's like, oh, I got to do my 3 minutes of my gratitude practice. I got to do my 3 minutes or my 5 minutes of just saying thank you in front of the mirror. And then I'm done for the day, but you do it every day and it like scratches out something, right? It
It
starts cleaning
does.
out. Yeah, and then you go deep, and then that's when you start going deeper and
Yeah.
deeper and deeper. And then you're going so deep that you can look at the things that are challenging and feel gratitude for it because you can
Yes.
see that it's that contrast that is bringing that expansion. Like it's that contrast that's helping you wake up.
Yeah. And so those people that get under your skin, it's to help you.
Yeah.
It is
And
literally. I was just gonna say, I think of it like it's not even that person, it's the universe working through that person. That's how I see it. And that's
yeah.
allowed me I think that has allowed me to reframe my attitude of gratitude, right? Like
Yeah.
towards people, even the ones that maybe get under my skin that trigger me, let's say, right? But I see it
Yeah.
as the universe working through them. And then I'm grateful to the universe for choosing my husband to work through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because those people that are, really annoying or that kind of, they poke your buttons, they push your buttons on purpose sometimes it seems, right? Especially in those family gatherings, like they ask
Yes.
a question or maybe it's after dinner, everyone's having coffee and you're just like, "Oh man, like Aunt Sally's going to open her big yap again," or
And then
whatever,
she
right?
does.
Or is going to say something that's going to either piss off my kids and get them all riled up or whatever. But if you can get yourself to a point where you can look at this Aunt Sally and be like, and not see Aunt Sally, not see the personality, but see the soul and be like, holy crap, this being loves me so fucking much that they decided to drop in
Yeah.
on this super bitchy character and this really annoying personality into Aunt Sally and help me wake up
Yeah.
because that's what I wanted. I wanted that challenging personality in my life so that I could not overcome it, but like grow through it,
So I
right?
could learn to
So like
choose
that,
love. So I could learn to
yeah,
choose love through it.
yeah. So maybe the lesson is even to see that Aunt Sally, like her soul, her true self, loves you so much that she's like, yeah, sure, I'll drop in, Angie. You
I
know,
love that
I'll
you
go,
saying this.
I'll play that hard role. I'll play, the evil stepmom or
Yeah.
whatever.
This is a really
Yeah,
deep teaching, guys. This is a hugely deep teaching. And this is actually how I got, and we're talking about just Aunt Sally and her annoying quirks, whatever. But this is literally something I talk about with our abusers, people that have hurt us and people that have harmed us, I look at it this way too. I look at it from the soul perspective, right? As a soul, we made this contract together. And this soul loved me so much to help me get the experience I wanted
Yeah.
and was willing to play this role that would hurt me. And they were the perfect person, they were the perfect soul to do it because they had karmic clearing too that's needed. And
Yeah.
they had karma, like there's all kinds of reasons. It doesn't matter what the reasons are, honestly, but it's made in unconditional love. That agreement is made in unconditional love.
Yeah.
And that can be hard. I remember the first time I heard somebody say that I'm grateful for my abusers. And I've had several abusers, and I can actually genuinely say that now. I remember being floored when I heard this woman say this, and I was like, what? That's crazy. And
Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, that's just insane. No way. Um, that's okay. I get it. I do get it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you do believe that we are spiritual beings that chose to be here and have a human experience and experience the contrast, because it would be for our growth, um,
Yeah.
hold it in your heart, reconcile it, allow you know what I mean? Get curious about that. Get curious
Yeah.
about an agreement made like that in
Yeah.
another realm.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to accept it, guys. Whatever doesn't ring true to you, just put it aside, because that's that's a huge thing about free will. And I feel like we should do an episode on free will later on, Angie.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. So
yeah.
I was just going to
And
offer, oh,
yeah, sure, go ahead. I gotta get the cat in.
okay. I was just going to offer a tip actually for going into like a family situation. Something I do, here's another thing I do to find gratitude, is each of the people that are going to be there, I will take a moment before going and I will think about each of these people because these are my loved ones. These are people I do love. Okay. And so I will take a moment to think about each one of them because most of the time we're thinking about, oh, great, Aunt Sally's going to probably open her mouth after dinner. So and so, once they have a drink in them, they're probably going to start picking on me. You know what I mean? These are the thoughts we go in with, right? But we can reprogram that, right? So we can sit and let's say there's going to be 8 people at this thing, right? And these are your loved ones, right? I will sit with each one in my mind, in my heart. Actually, I'll put them in my heart, and then I'll just think about what I'm grateful for about them. Now, I'll think about it now, even though they're challenging, and it might be hard to find the gratitude in the challenge. Natalie said this earlier, but I can be grateful for them now, even knowing that there'll be a challenge. There might be a challenge. I can consider it now. And I will just imagine like sending love around them. Like I'll just imagine pouring my
Yeah.
own heart and my energy around them. And that
Yeah.
feels like it frees me up. It frees me up a little, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
It does. Yeah. And that's a good point. Any kind of visualization that you can do, guys. Like again, like Angie's example of pouring out love, um, or of holding that house, like the physical house and everybody in it, just
Yes.
in your light,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Another
all of
one is
these little
taking your higher
simple.
self, like imagining that those higher versions that made the contract. You can even imagine like your higher self and their higher self. That's something I do too, especially with really
Oh,
challenging people. I imagine I
right.
connect my heart to my higher self. And then what I do is I ask for their higher self to come. And I say thank you to their higher self.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
have had, guys, I have had some really freaking spectacular experiences just doing that, and very fast results.
Yeah.
Like they end up
And that made
surprising me.
me, yeah, and that's a fantastic one. I'm gonna try that out because I love that.
Yeah.
Of reaching out towards that individual's higher self
Yeah.
and saying thank you.
And sorry. I have said sorry too.
Yeah.
I have said sorry to
Yeah.
their higher self. Like, I'm sorry that I have a hard time seeing you. You know what I mean? Seeing
In
your
this
heart,
person.
feeling your
Yeah.
heart
Yeah.
in this person. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry that that's challenging for me. It's not what I
Yeah.
choose. That's something to, sometimes I say that. It's actually not what I choose, but I find it challenging. But I'm sorry
Yeah.
and thank you. Thank you for loving me anyway,
Yeah.
because their higher
I
self
can
loves you
feel I can feel that will work so quickly, guys. We should all
so
do this
fast,
next time we're in a
so fast.
challenging family situation because you are completely sidestepping the ego.
Yes.
You're just like, let's take the express lane,
Let's just go
right?
straight to
Let's
the love.
straight to the source, right? Ha ha ha. That is great. That's definitely something we will all
Highly
apply.
recommend it.
And that's something so quick. This stuff is so quick, guys. It doesn't take hours and hours.
No.
Like you could do this in 30 seconds.
You can do this just like literally, that's how I do it. I literally just do it. Like, I just take a moment, I imagine connecting my heart with my higher self, because all it takes
Yeah.
is intention. You make the intention, I want to connect
Yeah.
with my higher self. Okay, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you don't know if it's happening, just trust it. You've intended
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens. And then
Yeah.
call their higher self in and just trust
Yeah.
it. Trust it, and then just
Yeah.
speak to them in your mind, like, just speak to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is
Yeah.
powerful.
Use
It
your
shifts.
imagination.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shifts because you know what it is, and I'm going to say something. It doesn't just shift because you've done that. It shifts because you've shifted the energy within you. And so now when you come into contact with that person, your energies mesh. Your energy is different than it's been before, and
Mm.
they respond to it unconsciously. That's fine, but they will surprise you. I used to do this with clients, guys, as an employment counselor. My tough clients, I used to do this with tough clients, and I had one that was my toughest that I've ever had in my career, and she broke down I'd been seeing her for a year, and she broke down crying the day I did this. Like,
Oh.
crying and apologizing to me, and like, I saw this soft side of her that was so beautiful.
Oh. Yeah.
And my ego could have told you all kinds of things about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But we go where our attention
yes,
goes, right?
the energy.
So our attention is a compass. So when we focus our energy, our attention on gratitude, on finding even a tiny little thing to be grateful for, and sometimes maybe you have to sidestep the human one and go straight to the higher self, like Angie shared with us, right? And
Yeah,
saying thank you and apologizing that that you're finding it hard to connect with their
with
little
the
human
human.
version of themselves. Yeah. And
Yeah,
this is simple, this is quick. And so it's when we're focusing our energy on this kind of stuff,
yes,
that's where it also shifts, because then it just adds an extra layer, right? Of, oh, this is where my attention is now,
yeah,
right? And then as we keep doing this, then that deeper gratitude, that deeper awareness, the different viewpoint changes, where those challenging situations, even if it's the same, Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner as last year, the external environment may be different, but your internal environment is different because you've been
yes,
practicing gratitude for 3 months, maybe for 3 weeks, for three
yes.
years,
So
right?
allow it to be reflected to you. Allow it. Give it
Yes.
space to reflect back, because it will. It will, especially in your family.
Ah,
It will. Oh my God, I promise you. I'm getting shivers. Like, this is life changing shit, man. you know?
completely agree.
My goodness. I broke my
Uh-huh.
toenail. Ow, that hurt. Um, sorry. Anyway, I think we're coming to a close here, but
Yeah.
this is a powerful practice, really, guys. Play with this. Play with this with one person in your life
Mm, yeah.
and
And it doesn't have to be
communicate.
the most challenging one,
Nope, it
because then you're
doesn't.
gonna have resistance, right?
Yep.
Yeah. just pick the one that's like kind of annoying, but maybe like super cute, like maybe like your dog or something, and you're like, no, you know. So there's a
Yeah.
little less resistance, right? Where you're a little bit open to it.
Yeah.
And
Don't
yeah, just
dive in.
practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
dive in
dive
on the
into like,
hardest.
no, no, not the one that you're like, "Ugh."
Unless you
Just
feel
the
like
one
you
that,
can. Unless you feel
yeah,
like you can, because I did dive into it with my worst
yeah,
client. I
yeah.
thought, what do I
As
have to
long,
lose?
yeah, as long as you can stay present. I suppose it depends on how you maintain that presence, because
Yeah.
really, it's the presence that you bring in. You know, you can't fake this stuff, right? We say that
You
a lot too. You can't
can't.
fake this stuff. So if you want to like feel like, no, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this with Aunt Sally this year, then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but if you want to practice on other people, totally fine too, right? No one's gonna know. That's
Play
the
with it.
beauty of this. That's
Exactly.
the beauty of
Nobody knows.
spiritual practice. Nobody knows what the
Nobody
hell
knows.
you're doing.
It's so true. It's so true.
Oh man.
I've been anchoring light, and I've been doing it I got guidance to do it in the schoolyard. So I've been doing it, and we laugh. I laugh with my friends, and it's like, they don't even know. They don't even know it's coming. They don't know. But I'm like lighting up the whole schoolyard. They have no idea.
Yeah, totally. Awesome.
All right. So, yeah, guys, give it a practice. If you like this video, like it, share with anybody that you think this would resonate with. And if you want to, find out more information about us, it's in the description below. Subscribe so that you'll get the notification and click the notifications button. And yeah, you'll hear about us. We're premiering our videos, and we're here live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thanks, Natalie. This was such a great one.
Yeah, thanks guys for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Yes.